good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It is Dr. Jan Fortman with Relationship Matters TV. Happy New Year. It is 2025. 2024, I don't know about you, but 2024 went by so fast. So if you're out there and same thing happened to you, let me know. All you gotta do is put it in the chat. Well, I hope your 2024 was good, was great. But now we're in 2025 and we want 2025 to be excellent or superior or just something that's going on with you in your life that you just never thought of. And it's like, wow, 2025. What some people are saying, I'm going to thrive in 2025. It's going to be live in 2025. So whatever it is you're going to say, 2025 is going to be a great year for you and for me. Before I get started, we want to send prayers up for the tragedy that happened in New Orleans. Send prayers up for the people who are suffering, whose relatives and friends were killed, were injured, and just for the family. So send some prayers up. Today, I want to have, it's just me. I am the guest. I wanted to start out with 2025 with something that I really want to think about, to use, to focus on. And what is that? That is imagination, perception, and reality. So let me start off with a little story and see if you see yourself in this. Maybe not the same, but just see if you see yourself in this story. And then we're going to have this conversation. So have you ever had an experience where you thought something was real, but it was only your imagination? Were you ever convinced that something was occurring and in actuality, it was quite the opposite? Well, let me tell you this little story. One evening, I was really, really, really tired, and I decided to go to bed early. And at that time, this has been quite a few years ago. And at that time, I wasn't married, and I lived alone in an apartment. Well, not exactly alone, because I had a cat, and her name was, now don't ask me why I named her this. It was Muhammad Yahya Khan. Probably doesn't even sound good nowadays. But anyway, I called her Yaya. And Yaya and I usually slept together, even though I tried to keep her from getting in my bed. But at night, she would always wait until I was asleep, and then she would slip into the bed. But anyway, this particular night, things changed, and I learned a valuable lesson. About 3 o'clock in the morning, I thought I heard a strange sound coming from the living room in my apartment. And it had wooden floors, and the wooden floor was creaking, and it sounded like somebody was walking across the floor. And it was a creak, and it was a thump. And it woke me up, but I lay very still in the bed. And I was, listening while the creaking continued. And my heart started beating fast and loud. You know how sometimes your heart can beat so loud in your ears that that's the only thing that you can hear? Anyway, after a while, um, it stopped. And I thought, okay, that was my imagination. But then I heard the sound coming from the kitchen. And I thought, oh my God, someone has broken into my apartment. What am I going to do? I decided to get out of the bed and confront whoever it was. Because whoever it was, they're not going to rob me and they're not going to hurt me. What I did, I tiptoed, real quietly to my bedroom closet. And I pulled out a golf club because I was going to defend myself against this intruder. I tiptoed out of my room with the golf club in my hand. And I rounded the corner. I came out of the bedroom, rounded the corner to the living room. And I saw the intruder. I screamed and I waved the golf club at the person. And then the person held up their whatever that was, weapon. And I started towards that person, and the person came towards me. And I got scared and I stopped. And the person stopped. And then I put the golf club down by my side because I thought, oh, well, I guess I'm dead. And the intruder put their weapon down. Much to my embarrassment and relief, I was looking at myself in a mirror. The intruder was me. The hall closet door was open, and it was a full-length mirror on the door. I was about to attack myself. Then I looked around. I saw the cat chasing the ball all around the apartment, jumping from the furniture to the floor. Let me say this. That experience kind of changed my life because the next morning I started thinking about how your imagination begets your perception, and your perception begets your reality. So I started reading some stuff, and I found this article where it said researchers in Sweden found that our imagination can change our perceptions of reality. And I know you all agree. Say, yeah, right. And your mind can play tricks on you by changing illusions of what you think, you hear, and see into what seems to you like it's real, like it's reality. Human perception tends to see what it expects to see, even if that expectation differs considerably from reality. The next day, the day after that, I started thinking how powerful your imagination is in creating your reality. And I thought, what if I use my imagination to create a reality, something I really want? What's a fantasy? Well, this is what it was then. I had always wanted to go to Hawaii and experience the beaches, the sun, the palm trees. And okay, while I'm there, I want to do an educational workshop with lots of people hanging on my every word. Like, why not, right? You know what I found out? When you keep something in your head, you will always start creating reality or creating events that can lead you towards your goal. Now, I knew I couldn't do an educational workshop on the scale that I was talking about or go to Hawaii because I needed some credentials. I decided to go back to school and get my doctorate. Then I was in Toastmasters, so I started taking Toastmasters more seriously and started honing my speaking skills. Then I put a big poster of Hawaii on my wall, right up there, in my office. And on my computer, I put some swaying palm trees, as the, what do you call it? Whatever, space saver, whatever you call it, whatever. Anyway, and I would stare at it, and I would imagine, I'd close my eyes sometimes, and I would like imagine hearing the ocean, and then I close my eyes and try to feel the hot sun on my face and imagine the swaying palm trees. So I did all that, but it's like, okay, now how am I going to get there? I don't have any money. I don't even know if they even have educational conferences in Hawaii. So I'm going to look at the internet. And guess what I found? I found one. It was called the Hawaii International Conference on Education. I sent in a proposal and it was accepted. I was on my way. My imagination created a reality that I wanted. I did a workshop. People from all over the world attended it, and I was even invited to Alaska to speak. So if I can do it, you can do it. We can all do it. In 2025, put it to the test. What is it you really want to achieve? What is your dream? Who do you want to be? Use your imagination. If you imagine it long enough, if you perceive it, if you vividly imagine it, it can become your reality. Let your reality run, and not your reality, let your imagination and your perception just run wild. As Dr. James Dentley has said, don't think outside the box. Think that there is no box. So let your imagination run wild. Don't say you want to be a millionaire. Say you want to be a multimillionaire, or you want to be a billionaire. What do you want to be? Don't say, oh, I really want to go on my own. I've been working in corporate America, and but different things have been coming to me. Let me create something. Let me imagine something. Let me perceive something. Let me perceive that I will be a highly paid speaker, trainer, whatever. What is it that you want to be? Who is it that you want to be? Now, just a little funny little story on the word be. When I was in high school, we had to conjugate the verb to be. And the teacher would call, this English teacher, Mrs. Ritchie, would call on us. And, we didn't want, they don't have to do that today. I don't even think they know what conjugation means. But anyway, so what she did, she called on this boy. And I'm not going to say his name because we're still friends. And she said, whatever his name is, conjugate the verb to be. And he got up and he said, I be, you be, he, she, and it bees, we be, you be, they be. Now, we all like, and the teacher, her mouth like, she couldn't laugh, her mouth like, and she turned her back. And we all went, she turned back around, we went. And of course, she wrote it down on the board. But that word, that verb be, is the most complicated of all of the English verbs, and it's the most used. So my question to you is, what is your B? BE? Who, what are you going to be? Are you going to use your imagination and your perception to create your reality in 2025? Remember, whatever you perceive, you can achieve. So I want to end this, my talking. I love to talk. And I want to say it's a quote that I saw, and it's by James Allen. And I was told not to use my finger. You are today where your thoughts have brought you. You will be tomorrow where your thoughts take you. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Now, this is what I want to know from you out there. You can put it in the chat. Are you going to, tell me, what is it that you really would like to achieve in 2025? And I'm not saying like a resolution, like I want to lose 10 pounds, although I do want to lose 6. But, and wait a minute, using my imagination and my perception into reality. Okay, my imagination, I can imagine myself and perceive myself minus those 6 pounds. And if I do it hard enough, if I keep it in my head, I can create my reality. Okay, so I'm waiting. What is it that you're going to use your imagination, your perception, and how you're going to make it into your reality? I'm going to be like, teacher, don't let me call on you. Because I can see some, let me see, who is here? No, you don't want me to call on you. But anyway, put it in the chat. Tell me what, or text me. Some of you text me sometimes. What is it? Because I perceive, I created I used my imagination, and I showed you how I perceived something that really wasn't there. But in the end, I created reality. So while I'm waiting for you, what I did, I started thinking, like I said, outside of the box. No, that there was no box. Okay, I really want to be an international speaker. Now, what I did after I went to Hawaii and I created that reality, I put another vision board up here in front of me that I look at. And one of the realities that I am creating is building bridges. There is the perception, there's that imagination, and reality. I'm using all 3 of those to create that reality that I want. And what else? Healthy? Wait, healthy and black. Well, I'm already black, but I'm using imagination, perception to create the reality of being healthy. 2025. To be transparent, I'm not going to drink wine every night, because I do. Only on the weekends. That's going to help me to become more creative. going to cut down. This is my imagination. I'm imagining myself eating more vegetables. I can see broccoli right in front of me. I'm going to create the reality of being 6 pounds lighter. And my phone is going buzz, which means that someone is texting me and I'm going to look at it. But when you think about the story that I told you in the very beginning, how my imagination, my perception and my imagination created a reality, you can do the same. So I'm still asking. I don't see, now any other time you all are just blowing up my comments, blowing it up. And I'm putting it all in the chat. Finally. Let's see who this is. Okay. Oh, Greg Travis. In 2025, I want to stop settling and start living for the sake of my reality and future. Yes, Greg. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Greg. You out there, if you need someone, he is the best marketer I have ever met. If you have a business and you want to market your business, I can connect you with him. He is a master at that. He is a master of putting you out there. If you have a book and it's in your garage and a bunch of them, and you feel I can't sell these books, I can hook you up with Greg Travis and you'll have a bestseller. If you got a business and you're wondering, why am I not really making any money or the money that I want? I just don't know how to market. I can hook you up. In other words, Greg can take your perfection and your imagination and turn it into your reality. All righty. Now, I see some other people out there. I see some numbers. So I know you're there. And I hate to I don't know what I did with my phone, but I hear it buzzing. I hate to look at my phone. Okay, let's see. Here's something here. Okay. With so many people that I know who have passed away, my reality is to understand my God just a little bit more. Now, how can this person create that reality? Perception, imagination, reality. However, with that perception and that imagination and create into your reality, there's some work involved. Now, to me, this is my opinion, this work is really reading the Bible and prayer. And when I say prayer, I'm assuming that this person is Christian. So prayer for discernment, for understanding. Because if you ask your higher power, and this is something that you really want to create this knowledge and this understanding, to me, now this is my opinion, is to really ask your higher power, your God, whomever, ask, do the work, ask. Not only ask, listen. Okay. this other text came in. It says, my goal is to believe in myself more so that I can be who I am supposed to be. Okay, so now you sent me this text, but who are you supposed to be? First of all, you have to know who you are. Stop finger, Janice. Who you are supposed to be. Now, that takes a lot of introspection. That takes a lot of self talk, self and questioning yourself. Now, who are you supposed to be? Everybody has gifts. And I consider them spiritual gifts. Everybody has a gift. To me, listening to the universe, I did a presentation on listening to the universe and connecting the dots, because your gift, you've had your gift from the time you were born. When I did a presentation, I did it for some kids. And I asked the question, what is it that you love to do? And I got all kinds of answers. Oh, I love to do hair, or I love to draw, or I love to play basketball, or I love animals. I love taking care of children. That's your gift. My gift was or is teaching. When I was a kid, before computers, we would be outside and we would play. And I loved to play school. And I was always the teacher, never the kid, never the student. What did I become? A teacher. I used to mentor kids. And when I was in high school and I used to tutor, I loved it. So I became a teacher. I quit a job to go to school to become a teacher. And even now, because I'm a speaker and a coach and a TV show host, I still consider it teaching or educating. That is my gift. It was there. So, do you have a gift? Yes, you do. What is it? What is it that you love to do? What is it that you're good at? Sometimes we're good at stuff like, I talked to a woman the other day, and she was telling me what she was good at, but she wasn't getting that satisfaction. And I said, so what is your gift? What are you passionate about? And she started thinking, you know what? Yeah. And to her, I said, your imagination, what do you imagine? What do you perceive? And she started telling me. And I said, now you can use that to create your reality. So I want to thank you, Greg, and thank you for that viewer, those two different viewers who text me. So let's see if I got any other text. Now you can still put it in the chat. Let's see. I hate to do this, but I'm going to do it. Okay. Now, what else is in the chat? Okay. That's something else. Okay. So let's see. What else? There's another one. Okay. This person says, perception. What do I see when I look in the mirror? I ask myself, who is that person? Wow. You know what? Have you ever done this? And it's hard to do. Have you ever stood in the mirror and just looked into your own eyes to see who you are, what do you see? Guess what? It's kind of hard just to look. So I'm looking at me. I'm looking at you all, actually. But that's kind of hard. When you do that, it's like, okay, who am I? Who am I supposed to be? And when I say listen to the universe, listen. Clear your mind. Who am I? Now, don't judge yourself, because if you really go deep, you don't judge yourself, you let it come out. Sometimes it's like, you know what? Who I really am. I don't know that I really like who I really am. Not only am I hiding that from other people, I'm also hiding it from myself. Now, when that happens, if there's a reality, remember I said in the beginning, who do you want to be in 2025? You might want to be the same person that you were, but you might want to be someone different. What do? You imagine it. You perceive. Who is it that I want to be? Remember I said about the verb be. Who is it? Now, what I'm going to do is, this is the person I want to be. I went to my goddaughter's brunch earlier today, a little private thing we had. And this person was saying how they wanted to change and be more patient. And I said, are you perceiving that? Yes. Do you imagine yourself being more patient? Yes. Are you doing the work? Yes. You're creating your reality? Yes. That's her in 2025. Now, are there some more comments out there? Because I can talk and talk and talk. So what I'm going to do right now is take a quick commercial. Let me find my commercials. I'm going to take a quick commercial. And of course, I can't find my commercials. Yeah, here they are. You got to pay for the show, right? So when I come back, what I want to hear is, and I want you to put it in the chat, what I want to know is, what reality are you going to create in 2025? Perception, imagination, reality. Or imagination, perception, reality. That's the theme of today's show. So I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
name, but in our longing hearts, we're all the same. We can make it happen, turn things around. Let's be the change we want to see about. We are links in a chain. We are links in a chain. An important wagon on a moving train. In this we're all the same. We're links in a chain.
Well, we are back. We are back. And I would like to thank my viewers for, texting me. But you can still put it in the chat, because when you put it in the chat, then I can put it along the lower third. And, but before I go into this next text that I got, if you saw those commercials, okay? So one was another TV show on E360 TV. They perceived it, they imagined it, they perceived it, and they created a reality. They wanted to do a show. The second one was someone who is a healing, kind of like a healing sensei, I'll call her. Something that she perceived. She works with animals, she works with people, and she has a beautiful line of essential oils. Perceived it, imagined it, created it. That's her reality. Okay, so let me get, okay. This one, my intention is to get more involved with others and share some of my life experiences so that it may help somebody else. Wow. Now, what is this? This is perceiving. This is imagining. This is perceiving. And hopefully you will create this reality. It's so important for people. Everybody has a story. And to share your story, to share your experiences can help someone else create their reality or create a reality that they want. All of us have stories. Things have happened to us, but it's how we react to those stories. Some of it is trauma. Some of it is just an experience. But you'd be surprised at the people out there who really need to hear from you, from your experiences, or even from your trauma, because that can help them to perceive something different, to imagine something different, to create reality. So it's almost time to go. And I just thought that it was important for us in 2025 to think about where we want to be, who we want to be. And remember what I said earlier about perceptions and reality. Sometimes it's negative. Because if you remember, the experience that I had that led me to this, in a sense, was a kind of negative experience, in a sense, because my imagination ended up with a false perception and a false reality. But I used that experience to turn it around, to use my imagination and my perception to create positive reality. So if you came in late and you didn't get a chance to hear my story, it will be on YouTube, on my YouTube. That's the easiest way to watch recordings, because you can go through E360 TV and then go through all the different shows, or Trajectory TV and go through all the different shows. But the easiest way is to look at it, to watch it on YouTube. And I said what I could do was to, was to type it in, which I will do. So if you go to YouTube, it's Dr. Janice Booker Fortman. Oops. Well, first of all, I got to learn how to type, right? Input. Dr. Janice Booker Fortman. Okay. So, now, yeah, there it is. So if you want to watch any of my previous shows, where I have, it's not just me talking, where I have so many different guests that you will really get some inspiration, some motivation. There have been comedians on if you feel like you need to laugh, advice. And if you do, subscribe, please. But if you were kind of wavering in your life and you really don't know, who you want to be, where you want to be, watch some of my shows. You watch them all. You can get a lot of ideas because it's someone that has been on my show, someone you should know. So I really want to thank you, viewers, for watching today. This was the first show of 2025. And so next Thursday, who do I have on my show for next Thursday? We're really winging it today. On my next show. And of course, if you know of someone who you feel would be a good guest, a great guest, it might even be you. If you would like to be on my show to promote your services, your products, or you just have a story that you would like to share. Oh, let me tell you who's going to be on next week. Oh my God. Her name is Nancy Matthews. OMG. She is the founder of the Women's Prosperity. I got to get it right. WPN, Women's Prosperity Network. If you need, I am a member and I get so much information, motivation, inspiration, mentoring, advice. It's called the Women's Prosperity Network. You can Google it. And I think it's third Tuesday, they have what they call networking with a twist, where it's women from all over the world and some men. And you just be so surprised at the help that you get, the people who are so willing to share their advice, their experiences. If you have a new business and you're struggling, or if you've had your business for a while and you just want to impart some information, you want to help other people. Anyway, I'm just talking. She is going to be, and her fiance, they're going to be on my show next Thursday evening. You do not want to miss that show. I'm going to put it on my social media, but you really don't want to miss that show. But what I want to do is really, because it's almost time, is to really thank you, my viewers, for being patient with me this evening. And I really appreciate it. I hope that I have given you some value. I hope that you take the theme of the show and use it in your life. I want this to be a beautiful, wonderful, prosperous, blessed, and all the other adjectives, positive adjectives that you can think of that I have not voiced. I want that to be your year, 2025. And remember what I said, or who I quoted, Dr. James Dentley. Don't think outside of the box. Think that there is no box. And I want you all to remember, I am a relationship communications coach. If you need some assistance in your personal or professional relationships, if you want to improve your communication skills, all you have to do is reach for me. And who am I? I am Dr. Jan Fortman. And you can reach me here at relationshipmatterstv@gmail.com. If you would like to be a guest on the show, or if you would like to suggest someone that you feel would be a great guest on the show, just email me at relationshipmatterstv@gmail.com. Now we have a comment. Thank you, Marcy Hill. You also have a wonderfully blessed 2025. All of you have a wonderfully blessed 2025. So I will see you again on Relationship Matters TV. Remember, there are all kinds of relationship matters. Life is about relationships. I hope that you and I have formed a positive, wonderful relationship. And what else I want to say? Oh, yeah. I want to thank you again. And I have to show this again because I want to thank you again. Yes, I wanted to celebrate you. So I'll see you again next Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. PST. What's PST? Well, anyway, it's on the West Coast, Pacific Time. All right. See you again next week. Bye bye.